So right now, I'm about to do another video. So right now, it's probably a day 14, 15. I've actually lost track, but my 101-day challenge progress. So I'm gonna do a long one. I'm just trying to touch a few points. Um, before I kind of start my evening. Um, I'm off today, so I thought, yeah, this is the best time. I haven't done a video in a couple of days, but in the next few videos, I'm actually going to take three kind of segments. So the first segment is going to be the van life, like what am I really like breaking that down numbers wise? What am I really spending? So I'm actually spending £290, right? I'll do videos on allocations and stuff later on down the line. That's very, very frugal. That's very frugal. That's not even like I'm doing the bare minimum, basically. I'm living way below my means. It's crucial that I do this long term. It makes sense financially, and most people are not in this position. And obviously, I'm at a certain age where I'm wise, been through a lot of stuff. In my late 30s, so my 20s and 30s, that was the time for me to really, exercise what I needed to do in life and go through what I need to do. Um, and then yeah, man, like from that now, I've got to a point where I moved here now. So I'm like, I'm here now. I'm in Scotland. The house prices are mad cheaper, so I'm basically on that path to home ownership. Just in light of these calls last 2 weeks I've been making, what I've been doing, who I've been speaking to, the stuff I've been hearing as well, people do. I just think everyone has different paths and different starting points. I just thinking, wow, my story is gonna just be super unique, man, for real. But anyway, um, yeah, like that's the first section is the numbers. What is the van life really making me live on, and how am I living on just 10% of what I make, which is insane, right? The average UK salary is about 25 grand a year. Most people save about 10% of that. It's ridiculous. How are you going to be able to do anything? You're stuck, right? Most of the time, depends what age you are. You might have a house, you might have a car, you might have children. Financially, you're kind of bottlenecked in that sense, unless you got crazy arbitrage and you can really win big, young or early, then it's definitely difficult, but it's not impossible. But I just think starting from scratch is one of the biggest blessings anyone can have. It's scary, it's hard, it's tough. Trust me, I think that this is insane myself. Even though I believe in myself and things are gonna work out, I definitely feel like this is like so out the box, right? This is like, but it's only made for certain people. At the end of the day, you have to really be built for this. This is not a joke. So, so apart from me breaking down how I'm living and what I'm spending, I'm gonna break down what I'm doing with this vehicle right now. This is my asset. Gets me from A to B. I sleep in the back for free, rent free, right? So I pay no rent, right? I've been paying no rent since I moved here, basically, it's for ages. But the stability of the income has always been the issue. But it is what it is because I generally feel like it's taking me 15 months, 15 jobs, but it's gonna end if it's gonna be worth it once I get that, that 30 grand stacked, and then I can put that into my mortgage. That makes sense, because it's just like a journey at the end of the day. It's a story, it's inspiring, it's motivating. It's something that people wish they could do, right? Everybody wants a mortgage, everyone wants a house, everyone wants stuff, but what are you gonna do to get it? And what has been put in your way, what has been hard, what's been tough, what has been tested along the way, right? And that's what this whole journey and this whole video is all about, to be honest. But I need to really show numbers. So anyway, once I show my van life numbers, this is what I'm living on. So if I'm only living on 10% what I make, what am I doing with that other 80%, right? There's 80%, maybe about 2 grand. Anyone can save a grand more plus is either living at home with the parents at their age, or that's really it. I just feel that's the only caveat, really. I just feel like living at home for as long as you need to is the biggest flex in the world. And I know everyone's situation is different. My situation wasn't the best. So I moved out 17, 18 years old, you feel me? So then I had that flat, and that flat was really holding me. So that's why I came here, because I thought like if I don't change now, I'll be that guy in that bubble of, got given a council flat, and get dangled with that cheap rent and living on benefits lifestyle. And I just wanted to get out of that. Just in general, signing on and just getting benefits, it just didn't sit right with me. I like working. I'm a workaholic. I cannot just sit down and get money. That's just not me. The only time it really was beneficial and made sense was actually COVID. Most people on benefits are actually making less money than people working. Or if they are making money, they're not really far off. But I've kind of gone on a tangent, and I do that. This is my long form. So this is what I'm spending, 10%. So the next thing is how I'm making money from this van. So the van, It doesn't cost me much. I bought it outright, no finance, right? This is my first fan. So I am aiming to get a second one on finance. But again, my finances will be, in order. I would have been disciplined and stable by that point. But this van now, like I said, ATB, sleep for free, and then I can make money in the van. So at the back, I could do parcels, I could do removals, I could do car washes, so many things circulating. But obviously, car washing what I was doing in London. I've got my car wash at my cousin's in Acton. So yeah, it's just about me picking that up in the summer. It's not a hot country, but in the summer, this is the times where I really want to just gear this back up and just start making you know big chunks of money in small amounts of time. That's going to add to my savings. So saving 30 grand in a small amount of time, even with a surplus, is difficult because things can happen. So, in my situation, I've got a large amount of debts I need to clear, which ranges from high priority, low priority, and just people that I've borrowed money from and I owe them money. That needs to be clear or super reduced before I think about really going hard on, saving and investing big. Um, but yeah, obviously I'm gonna use my job as the baseline, and then obviously use a van to make little money. I've got my SA badge. I can do other jobs. I can, driving license. I can do other jobs. So it's just about really investing in income producing assets in me and myself, and whether I can do some stuff online on my laptop, whether I can do stuff, with the traffic management course that I would love to do, and obviously my CCTV installation, which I've put down as well, for probably Q3 now, Q4. But yeah, these are the things that's gonna make me make money, right, and save on top of what I'm doing. Obviously I need to track everything, like where it's coming from, so I can use it for my deposit. But yeah, it's gonna be a hard grind, and I'm gonna again that journey is what I'm gonna be micro content documenting more, the most, like more. 'Cause people really want to know the real path to get there. This is just the beginning stage phase of me starting. So I will really hone in into like a real consistent video upload series of like the real mortgage journey, right? The real steps and months to it, real. So anyway, so along with me spending 10%, along with me using my van as an asset to make money, the third thing people would love to know is what am I doing with the surplus? I've spoke about financial discipline, financial stability. I've spoke about that, but how am I actually using this money every month when I get paid? What am I doing? I got to pay the allocation, but I always say 10%, right? At the moment, I'm only saving 1% in my fund, and I always make sure I'm paying off what I've got to pay off, and make sure my expenses are paid in advance. This is just a micro, like I said, real micro level of what I do. But I need to move from these stability stages, well, from these financially stages, sorry, to get to the end of financial freedom. Right, I've just got my little thing here, right? I've written down what I'm spending. Right, I do this every month. I'm obsessed now with numbers. But anyway, I've got to go from financial discipline, right, which is living frugal, spending less than you earn. Then I've got to be able to make sure that I'm saving 1 month of expenses and 3 to 6 months of expenses. So now I've set myself up. I've got a little buffer. Then I can start investing in the stocks properly DCA, which is called dollar cost average, save 20% of what I make, and then do that for 5 years, right? Let that compound. And then obviously, like I said, the mortgage will be originally living in what I will obviously, that's just my barrier to entry. I will obviously either convert it into a buy to let mortgage, put some tenants in there, but let tenants pay the mortgage, and then just build that asset over the next few years. That's just what I'm doing. Business is number one. It's fundamental. I can't work for the rest of my life, right? But we're using the work money to do what we need to do to get to the stages of stability. Once you're stable, then you can start building financial independence, which is you're independent of money, meaning you're not trading the time to get money. You don't have to work to get money. I'm pushing that fire movement. So my goal was to retire by 50. I want to be able to have a family in my early 40s, but I want to spend at least 5 years. This is the year two. I believe last year was year one. Of just focusing on myself and building myself up to the point where I can actually sustain myself financially. So this is my numbers that are running today. Then if anyone can see these, but this is just obviously everything I'm talking about. It's just a repetition at this point. But anyway, man, I didn't want this video to be long, but I wanted to cover a lot. I will break these up. I'm investing in myself, vidIQ. I'm doing podcast episodes. Content is part of this game too. And I can give you some digital real estate. And yeah, man, just on that journey, bruv. Like I'm not regretting anything. I'm glad I'm here. I'm grateful for life. I love my life. I love what I'm doing, and you just gotta roll with the punches, man, and just accept what you don't like and keep it moving. So yeah, this is me, and I'll see you on the other side.